Unit number 10. Heading: Recent Developments in Indian Financial Markets. Page number 47. Reforms in the Financial Markets. The process of reforms stated during 1991 on the recommendation of M. Narasimhan Committee recommendations that covered the money market, government securities market, capital market and forex market. Development in the money market. On the recommendations of Professor Sukhamoy Chakravarty Committee 1985 and N. Waghul Committee 1988, steps were taken to widen and deepen the money market. The actions include setting up of Discount and Finance House of India to deal in short-term money market instruments for improving the liquidity position. In June 2000, the Liquidity Adjustment Facility (LAF) was introduced. In January 2003, the Collateralized Borrowing and Lending Obligation (CBLO) was introduced. Technological infrastructure has been improved with the introduction of negotiation dealing system, real-time gross settlement and centralized funds management system. The institution of primary dealers was established to support the government securities market. Short-term money market instruments, namely certificate of deposit and commercial paper, were introduced to enable banks and companies to raise short-term funds. With effect from August 2005, the call money market was converted into a pure interbank market. Next heading: Development in government securities market. After abolishing the system of automatic monetization of deficits and moving the market-related interest rates, the following developments took place. Introduction of instruments such as zero-coupon bonds, floating rate bonds, capital market index bonds. Establishments of Securities Trading Corporation, primary dealers. Introduction of Delivery versus Payment (DVP) system. Implementation of Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. Introduction of Ben issued market for fresh government securities. Next heading: Development in capital markets. A number of development took place in the capital markets that include the following: online trading at stock exchanges, tightening of delisting norms on recommendations of Chandratre Committee, requirement of publishing of unaudited results on a quarterly basis, requirement of the following the corporate government practices, that is K.M. Birla Committee recommendations. Next heading: Development in forex market. The reforms in this market took place on the recommendations of the Committee on Balance of Payment. C. Rangarajan Committee, Committee on Forex Markets in India, Sodhani Committee. Transition to the market determined forex rates with effect March 1st, 1993 under Liberalized Exchange Rate Management System, that is LERMS. Introduction of Post-Shipment Export Credit in Foreign Currency in November 1993. Allowing ADs to lend FCNR B funds to borrowers. Permission to ADs to borrow overseas. Removal of uniform overrate position limit of Rs 15 crore. Liberalization of capital account transactions. Acceptance of Article 8 of Articles of Agreements of the IMF in August 1994. Implementation of S.S. Tarapur Committee recommendations on capital account convertibility. Page number 48. Regulatory Framework of Indian Financial System. RBI supervises the commercial banks and urban cooperative banks, financial institutions, NBFCs and primary dealers through Board of Financial Supervision. State and district central cooperative banks and RRBs are supervised by NABARD. Insurance companies are supervised by IRDA. Mutual funds are supervised by SEBI. Pension funds market is supervised by PFRDA. For a coordinated approach, a high-level coordination committee with RBI Governor as chairman and chief of SEBI, IRDA and PFRDA and Secretary Economic Affairs, Ministers of Finance are the members. Next heading. Payment systems in India. In India, the payment and settlement systems are regulated by the Payment and Settlement System Act 2007 PSS Act, which was legislated in December 2007. The PSS Act as well as the Payment and Settlement System Regulations 2008 framed thereunder came into effect from August 12, 2008. In terms of Section 4 of the PSS Act, no person other than the RBI can commence or operate a payment system in India unless authorized by the RBI. The Reserve Bank has since authorized payment system operators of prepaid payment instruments, card schemes, cross-border inbound money transfers, automated teller machine, that is ATM, network and centralized clearing arrangements. The Board for Regulation and Supervision of Payment and Settlement Systems, BPSS, a subcommittee of the Central Board of the Reserve Bank of India, is the highest policy-making body on the payment systems in the country. The BPSS is empowered for authorizing, prescribing policies, and setting standards for regulating and supervising all the payment and settlement systems in the country. The Department of Payment and Settlement Systems of the Reserve Bank of India serves as a secretariat to the board and executes its directions. RBI initiatives on payment systems. RBI has taken many initiatives towards introducing and upgrading safe and efficient modes of payment systems in the country to meet the requirement of the public at large. These include the following. First, paper-based payments. Paper-based payments occupy an important place in India, and RBI has introduced magnetic ink character recognition (MICR) technology for speeding up and bringing in efficiency in processing of checks. Recent developments in the paper-based instrument include launch of speed clearing of local clearance of outstation checks drawn on core banking enabled branches of banks, introduction of check truncation system to restrict physical movements of checks and enable use of images for payment processing, framing CTS 2010 standards for enhancing the security features on check forms and the like. Second, electronic payments. Electronic Clearing Services (ECS) Credit. RBI introduced the ECS credit scheme during the 1990s to handle bulk and repetitive payment requirements like salary, interest, dividend payments of corporates and other institutions. ECS credit facilitates customer accounts to be credited on the specified value date and is presently available at all major cities in the country. During September 2008, RBI launched a new service known as National Electronic Clearing Service (NECS). NECS credit facilitates multiple credits to the beneficiary accounts with the destination branches across the country against a single debit of the account of the sponsor bank. The system has a pan-India characteristic and leverages on core banking solutions (CBS) of member bankings, facilitating all CBS banks branches to participate in the system irrespective of their location across the country. Regional ECS RECS. RECS was launched during the year 2009, which is a miniature of the NECS. It is confined to the bank branches within the jurisdiction of the regional office of RBI. Under the system, a sponsor bank will upload the validated data through the secured web server of RBI containing credit debit instructions to the customers of the CBS enabled bank branches spread across the jurisdiction of the regional office of the RBI. The RECS center will process the data, arrive at the settlement, generate destination bank-wise data reports and make available the data and or reports to secured web server to facilitate the destination bank branches to afford credit debit to the accounts of the beneficiaries by leveraging the CBS technology put in place by the bank. Presently, RECS is available in Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Chennai and Kolkata. Page number 49. Electronic Clearing Services ECS Debit. The ECS debit scheme was introduced by the RBI to provide a faster method of effecting periodic and repetitive collections of utility companies. ECS debit facilitates consumers, subscribers of utility companies to make routine and repetitive payments by mandating bank branches to debit their accounts and pass on the money to the companies. This tremendously minimizes use of paper instruments apart from improving process efficiency and customer satisfaction. There is no limit as to maximum or minimum amount of payment. This is also available across major cities in the country. Next heading. Electronic Funds Transfer EFT. This retail funds transfer system, introduced in the late 1990s, enabled an account holder of the bank to electronically transfer funds to another account holder with any other participating bank. Available across 15 major centers in the country, it is no longer available for the use by the general public, for whose benefit a future rich and more efficient system is now in place, which is the National Electronic Fund Transfer NEFT system. Next heading. National Electronics Funds Transfer NEFT system. In November 2005, a more secure system was introduced for facilitating one-to-one funds transfer requirements for individuals or corporates. Available across a longer time window, the NEFT system provides for batch settlements at hourly intervals, thus enabling near real-time transfer of funds. Certain other unique features with accepting cash for originating transaction, initiating transfer requests without any minimum or maximum amount limitations, facilitating one-way transfer to Nepal, recovering confirmation of the date, time of credit to the account of beneficiary, etc. are available in the system. Next, Real-Time Gross Settlements RTGS system. RTGS is a fund transfer system where transfer of money takes place from one bank to another on a real-time and on a gross basis. Settlement in real time means payment transaction is not subjected to any waiting period. Gross settlement means the transaction is settled on one-to-one basis without bunching or netting with any other transaction. Once processed, payments are final and irrevocable. This was introduced in 2004 and settles all interbank payments and customers transactions above 2 lakh. Next, Clearing Corporation of India Limited, CCIL. CCIL was set up in April 2001 by the banks, financial institutions and primary dealers to function as an industry service organization for clearing and settlement of trades in money market, government securities and foreign exchange markets. The Clearing Corporation plays the crucial role of the central counterpart (CCP) in government securities, USD INR forex exchange, both spot and forward segments, and collateralized borrowing and lending obligation (CBLO) markets. CCIL plays the role of a central counterpart whereby the contract between the buyer and seller gets replaced by two new contracts between CCIL and each of the two parties. This process is known as novation. Through novation, the counterparty credit risk between the buyer and seller is eliminated with CCIL subsuming all counterparty and credit risk. In order to minimize these risks that it exposes to itself to CCIL follows specific risk management practices which are as per international best practices. In addition to the guaranteed settlement, CCIL also provides non-guaranteed settlement services for national financial switch, that is interbank ATM transactions, and for rupee derivatives such as interest rate swaps. CCIL is also providing a reporting platform and acts as a repository for over-the-counter products, OTC. Next, other payment systems. Prepaid system. Prepaid instruments are payment instruments that facilitate purchase of goods and services against the value stored on these instruments. The value stored on such instruments represent the value paid by the holders by cash, by debit to a bank account or by credit card. The prepayment instruments can be issued in the form of smart cards, magnetic stripe cards, internet accounts, internet wallets, mobile accounts, mobile wallets, paper vouchers, etc. The use of prepaid payments instrument for cross-border transactions has not been permitted. Next, mobile banking system. Mobile phones as a medium for providing banking services has been attained increased importance. Reserve Bank brought out a set of operating guidelines on mobile banking for banks in October 2008, according to which only banks which are licensed and supervised in India and have a physical presence in India are permitted to offer mobile banking after obtaining necessary permission from the Reserve Bank. The guidelines focus on systems for security and interbank transfer arrangements through Reserve Bank's authorized systems. On the technology front, the objective is to enable the development of the interoperable standards so as to facilitate funds transfer from one account to another account in the same or any other bank on a real-time basis, irrespective of the mobile network a customer has subscribed to. Page 50. ATMs, point of sales, POS terminals, online transactions. Savings bank customers can withdraw cash from any bank terminal up to 5 times in a month without being charged for the same. To address the customer service issue arising out of the failed ATM transactions where the customer's account gets debited without actual disbursal of cash, the Reserve Bank has mandated recrediting of such failed transaction within 7 working days and mandated compensation for delays beyond the stipulated period. Furthermore, a standardized template has been prescribed for displaying at all ATM locations to facilitate lodgings of complaints by customers. There are over 5 lakhs POS terminals in the country which enable customers to make payment for purchases of goods and services by means of credit debit cards. To facilitate customer convenience, the bank has also permitted cash withdrawal using debit cards issued by the banks at POS terminals. Next heading. National Payments Corporation of India. The Reserve Bank encouraged the setting up of National Payment Corporation of India (NPCI) to act as an umbrella organization for operating various retail payment systems (RPS) in India. NPCI became functional in early 2009. NPCI has taken over National Financial Switch (NFS) from Institute for Development and Research in Banking Technology (IDRBT). NPCI is expecting to bring greater efficiency by way of uniformity and standardization in retail payments and expanding and extending the reach of both existing and innovative payment products for greater customer convenience.